If you believe these stories of untold bravery deserve to be heard, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Maya had been standing by the bench at the military academy for 20 minutes. Medical scrubs, badge, sandwich. She hadn't finished eating. The joint medical training was to start in 40 minutes. Four cadets on break noticed her. The one sitting in front was loud. He had been the biggest in every room since he was 15 and confused that with being the most dangerous. He made 2 jokes. She remained silent. Her silence unsettled him more than anything. So he reached for the training pistol on his belt. He pressed it against her temple. His friends watched. A woman nearby stopped. Maya said one word, "Don't." He ignored her. 1 second. That was enough. Cole was lying unconscious on the ground. He didn't fall. He was placed there deliberately, as if you knew exactly where you were putting something. Maya stood holding the training pistol in her right hand. She looked at the other 3 cadets like they were a problem she had already decided to no longer have. She laid the pistol on the bench and took her sandwich. Inside the building, Commander Diaz, who had been watching from a hallway window, stood frozen. Not because of what she had done, but how she had done it. If you want to know what a Marine medic in scrubs looks like, comment "never judge" below and subscribe, because this morning 4 cadets learned that lesson the hard way. The Westport Military Academy was 3 miles from the Veterans Hospital where Maya worked. The trip took exactly 22 minutes when traffic lights were working, 31 when they weren't. This morning the lights were out. Maya arrived at the academy at 8:18 a.m., 42 minutes before the joint medical training led by her for the 2nd quarter in a row. The 1st quarter had gone well, and well in institutional terms meant less prep time but the same expectations. She didn't mind. She parked in the guest lot. The sandwich she bought early in the hospital cafeteria at 6:30 a.m. was still untouched. She hadn't found 4 consecutive minutes to eat until now. She went to the nearest bench outside the main building and sat with her back to the wall, eyes on the main entrance, an instinctive habit of someone whose seat choice is never accidental. She wore light blue scrubs under a black jacket unzipped against the crisp October air. She had 42 minutes, a sandwich, and the simple aim to eat in peace before a building full of people demanded her full attention for the next 4 hours. The grounds were the polished order of a military institution. Manicured lawns, straight paths, drill sounds beyond the main building. The 4 cadets appeared around the corner at 8:23. Maya noticed them before they saw her, an automatic register of people entering her space, a baseline, not a choice. The one leading was Ryan Cole. She didn't know his name yet, but she knew the type. 19 years old, big for his age, swagger of a kid who'd been the biggest in every room and confused that for strength. He saw her noticing the ground and the bench seat. He noticed her back to the wall and the sharp calm she carried like someone who didn't belong there by accident. That irked him, the kind of irritation that comes when you can't name what unsettles you. He made a comment from 10 feet away, mocking scrubs and asking if the hospital knew she'd escaped. His friends laughed immediately, not at a joke, but at a performance. Maya took a bite, didn't look up, didn't move, kept eating with the quiet focus of someone who had assessed the performance and decided it didn't deserve a response. Cole expected a flustered civilian's excuse but got silence. The kind of silence that unsettled him much more than any retort. He stepped closer, louder jab at nurses who sat like soldiers, watching too many movies. His friends laughed again, but the laughter was off. A nervous, uncertain sound trying to fill the silence left by Maya's unreadiness to play along. Maya finished half her sandwich, set it down on the wrapper, and looked at Cole for exactly a second with calm, measured attention, then looked back at the grounds. Cole's jaw clenched. The silence was winning, something he didn't know how to fight. He reached for the blue training pistol on his belt. He stepped forward, pressed it to her temple. The 3 friends froze, caught beyond an unspoken line. Maya didn't flinch. She didn't move. She sat still, pistol at her head, sandwich wrapper resting on her knee. Composure absolute like this wasn't the worst situation she'd faced. She said one word, quiet and flat. No fear or performance. "Don't." Cole smiled, ignored her. 1 second later, Maya acted. Cole went down unconscious on the grass before fully registering what had happened. His friends stood pale, wordless, eyes trying to find a way to sort the shock. Commander Diaz had been inside for 40 minutes when his aide came quietly to the door. "Disturbance outside, sir." Diaz stopped speaking, went to the window, saw the 3 cadets around something on the grass, the pistol on the bench next to the sandwich wrapper, and Maya standing motionless. He moved fast, the quiet urgency that said he needed to be there, fast but controlled. The cadets snapped to attention at his rank. Diaz looked at Maya, said her name as a question. "Maya Carter?" She returned a glance and said, "Commander Diaz." Diaz's face shifted. Not surprise nor relief, but a quiet recognition. Someone who'd carried a question for years and just got the answer. He looked down at Cole, who was waking slowly, confused. He asked, "Did you warn him?" "Once," she said. Diaz nodded once, slow and deliberate, the only answer he needed. The cadets stood pale, processing what they'd witnessed. The fleeting arrogance of youth replaced by something heavier, permanent. One cadet who'd been uncomfortable from the beginning looked at Maya with honest regret. Diaz told no one why Maya had left the military. The record stood on its own, along with one number, 89. The commandant of the academy, Colonel Harris, had watched from his office. He walked to the scene, processing the legal and institutional weight of the action. Diaz shared Maya's record quietly with everyone. Navy SEAL combat medic with 23 classified deployments, highest sniper kill count for a medic in naval special warfare history, 89 confirmed kills. The ground stilled under the weight of that truth. Cole sat pale, understanding what he'd done and to whom. Maya picked up her bag. "I'm late," she said. "My session started 4 minutes ago." She entered the training room without hurry but absolute purpose and began delivering trauma response integration to staff from the hospital and academy. After the session, Maya left and drove back to the hospital, ready to face the next patients and tasks. The bench and grass outside the academy still bore marks. Nothing more was needed. Maya moved forward, always moving toward the next task, carried by the knowledge that the work was the point. From the first mission to the 89th, to the hospital, to the bench, to the car. This story is a reminder. The most prepared person in any room is almost always the one nobody thought to expect. If you want to hear more stories about people who quietly do what needs to be done without asking if anyone's ready to understand, leave "Never Judge" in the comments and follow us.